These are the tribulations of Paulette. So here's the situation. I'm somebody's wife, a mother of 3, and I'm in a bathroom on the 4th floor of a suite at the Four Seasons. It's a Wednesday afternoon at 3. I've had a 2-bottle lunch with my high school boyfriend who is in town on business. We were about to kiss, but he's had some sort of major cardiac event, and he's writhing on the floor and says he might die. I called the front desk, and they called 911. My mother Nancy always told me that bad things happen when you're not where you're supposed to be. She is proven right yet again, as Ted and I were supposed to be only having lunch. Before the authorities arrive, I find a small vial of discontinued Joe Malone vintage gardenia in my handbag, which I spray around the room in an attempt to mask the smell of pot. I kneel down next to Ted on the bathroom floor and untangle him from the bath mat. I loosen his tie. I wring out a cold washcloth and put it on his forehead. I tell him an ambulance is coming, and he tells me over and over how sorry he is. Then he tells me that he had recently developed a very serious heart arrhythmia. As a result, he has a defibrillator in his chest. The problem, he says, between gasps of air, is that the thing keeps going off. Something about the calibration wasn't set right. He tells me that the week before, it went off while he was out jogging, and the force of it jettisoned him off the road into a ditch. A cyclist saw Ted's feet up in the air and called 911. Looking at Ted as he tells me all this gives me a creepy feeling, because now Ted looks even thinner and older to me than when I first laid eyes on him at noon. And we're the same age. Do I look this old? One thing's for sure, I certainly don't look this thin. The paramedics arrive quickly to work on Ted, along with the general manager of the Four Seasons and the hotel physician. I explain the situation as well as I can, leaving out the marijuana part. They strap poor Ted to a gurney to take him to the emergency room, and I find myself in a quandary. Do I go with him? Should I call Ingrid, Ted's wife, and tell her what happened? That might be a bad plan, because Ingrid has always been suspicious of Ted's and my relationship. Should I call my husband Dave? Should I call my best friend Dolly? Then again, maybe I should summon an Uber and just get the hell out of there. I decide selective truth is the better option. I pull the general manager aside, tell him who I am, and ask for his assistance and advice. The Four Seasons does not disappoint. The GM informs me that he will call Ted's wife and explain that Ted took a spill in his room and had to go to the hospital. A true statement. The GM and I both agree. This is Ingrid's business. I've got to sober up, pick up my kids, and make dinner for Dave. Poor Ted, however, wants to hold my hand as they're wheeling him out. So as much as I want to peel his fingers off and run, it looks like I'm going to the hospital with him. We head for the service elevator, where the GM assures us we can make a quiet exit from the rear of the hotel. Regrettably, the ambulance was too tall to fit in the hotel garage, so it's parked out back on Stewart Street in broad daylight. Here we go, Ted, the EMTs, and me. Wait just a minute here, I think I need covering up. I had a scarf tied around my waist to hide the fact that my trousers wouldn't button, and now I take it and wrap it tightly around my head and under my chin. Outside, a duck bus choked with tourists rolls by on its way through Park Square. It goes kind of quiet as everyone on our side of the bus takes in the sight of Ted, strapped to the gurney. Ironically, I can hear the tour guide talking about the legend that is Legal Seafoods over on the left side of Stewart Street. Meanwhile, another legend, the one that is Paulette and Ted, is loaded into the back of the ambulance on the right. Fortunately, emergency departments in hospitals lay in wait for the patient with the heart problem. We are wheeled into the ED at warp speed, past legions of waiting wounded. I am still wearing the scarf along with huge black sunglasses. They won't let me in the room while they're working on Ted, and I need to call Dolly. She's been waiting to hear from me to see how the lunch went. In typical fashion, we have a conversational spar before I can get a word in. Dolly, I say. How was it, she asks. How did he look? Dolly, is your face still red from yoga, she asks. Dolly, I need you to, did you guys drink, she asked. Did he make a pass at you? Is he still in love with you? Dolly, if you could please just give me a minute here to tell you. Where are you now? She demands to know, and I explode. Dolly, will you just please shut up and listen to me? I'm in an emergency room. Whoa, you're where? Did you say an emergency room? Did you have an accident? No, Ted had an accident, Dolly. He's got a big problem, and I need you to come pick me up. I've got to get out of here right now. As I say this, 2 physicians in scrubs barrel past me to enter Ted's room. I go weak at the sight of one of them because I know him. Oh my God, it's Jim Hughes. Jim is Mr. Doctor Important Cardiologist, and now he's in there working on Ted, which for Ted's sake is good. But Jim is a strange animal kind of guy, not someone I really feel like seeing, and for that matter, not someone I ever thought I would see again after an incident many years ago. Paulette, hello, Dolly is saying, and as I'm processing the Dr. Jim thing, a nurse comes up to me and says, "Excuse me, your mother-in-law is on the phone." My mother-in-law? I ask. Yes, Mrs. Van Late, I believe it is your mother-in-law. Her name is Mrs. Van Late, too. Obviously, the nurse thinks I'm Ted's wife. But now I'm confused. How would Ted's mother, Martha, have found out so soon that Ted's in the emergency room? Dolly, I've got to go, I say, and I hang up. I walk with the nurse to the desk, and incredibly stupid idiot that I am, I say, "Hello," into the receiver. "Who is this?" a female voice asks. "Who's this?" I ask. But as I do, I know that this is not Ted's mother, Martha, calling, but Ted's wife, Ingrid. And she is calling because the GM at the Four Seasons called her to tell her what happened and where Ted was being transported, per my instructions. Regrettably, the GM's jurisdiction does not extend beyond the Four Seasons, and as a result, I am foiled by my own cover-up. Then Ingrid says the nurse wouldn't give me any information about my husband because she said that Ted's wife was already there. But I'm Ted's wife. Who is this? Who are you? Why are you there? You know, dislike her as I do, I've got to hand it to her because old Ingrid is right on the money with that one. You're listening to the very groovy sounds of Mr. Eric Fontana. Tune in next time for Confessions of a Navy SEAL. Till then, ta-ta.